Lahaim. Cheers. Kampai. What's going on, everybody? This is Jason, Zombie Collector. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this evening? How you all doing this evening? Hope all is well in old YouTube land. You know, sometimes we all have one of those kind of days. And today for me was one of those days. One of those days was for me. So yeah, I felt like having a little bit of the bubbly to kind of take the edge off for the day would be necessary, I guess is the right word, needed. So I thought I'd just come on here, take a couple responsible sips because sometimes adulting can be difficult. And I'm sure we all go there sometimes. We all get to that place where you know that you are just one situation, incident, just before you just realize you're going to uh, lose your mind. And that's the thing about being a responsible adult is that you try to not lose your mind and try to be even kill and cool headed. Yeah. Man, talking about that. I watched it on TV. I watched it on YouTube. The next day I watched it, and luckily I was able to avoid um any real major huge spoilers. I guess. Luckily, I accidentally had seen a couple of things when I was trying to get it pulled up, and yeah, the sparklers and the smoke bombs, and yeah, that was. I kind of feel bad, man, for him, because I thought it was an excellent. I mean, PPV baby, PPV all day instead of PPA all day. It's PPV all day. I kind of felt like the way it ended kind of sucked because I mean they put on a really good pay per view. I thought the Moxley Omega match was awesome. It was definitely huge shades of ECW. I thought all the matches were actually really good matches. I love the cinematic match with Sting and Darby Allin. Yeah, and Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. I thought that cinematic match was fantastic. I actually didn't have. I mean, there wasn't really a slow. I mean, the women's match. I'm not a huge women wrestling fan. I mean, not really. I like Sheeta fine. I like the Mizunami. I thought she was pretty funny. I thought it went on a little too long for me. I mean, there's only a handful of female wrestlers that I think just really put on a good match, and I'm sure that can be said for male wrestlers too, quite frankly. But out of the ones that I see on a regular basis, that AEW, because I don't really watch any other promotion too much. I watch a little bit of Impact. I watch SmackDown every once in a while for WWE. So I really don't know much about women's wrestling aside from what I see on AEW. I feel like the women's wrestling has been getting better since I started watching like a year and a half ago, I guess, at this point. But you have wrestlers like Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. Those are the ones I find to be very great wrestlers. I'm kind of intrigued by the whole Jade Cargill thing. She looked pretty good on her first match. last week at Dynamite with her and Shaq. I thought that was really cool. I thought she actually was a lot better than a lot of people were giving her hope, giving her. Hey, what up, Will? What up, Jeremy, Joey? Thank you all for popping in, Ron. I think Chris Statlander, when she's healthy again, I'm thinking she's about ready. Hopefully, the next few months be back. I know she got injured. You know who they're not you the two women that I think actually were pretty good wrestlers. They have them now as essentially like valets or managers. Is Allie the Bunny and Penelope Ford. I don't know why they're not using those girls. Like, I mean, those girls are fantastic. I like them in the ring. They actually have some wrestling ability, a lot better than some of these other ones. So I'm kind of disappointed they don't use them more because they're just kind of sitting around and all you hear Bunny do is like cackling, which I'm like, seriously, they're giving her a paycheck to cackle because that's essentially all she's doing. And I'm like, man, like that's just a waste of her talent. Yeah, Britt Baker. I mean, I wasn't the biggest Britt Baker wrestling fan. I was as a talker. I thought she was awesome. She needed to be able to put those two things together, and I think she's doing better. I think her matches are a lot better. I don't know if she's quite ready for, and that's probably why. I don't know if she's quite ready for to hold the title, but I could see that happening this year. Maybe maybe another dozen or so matches under her belt. So maybe that'd be good. Anna Jay, I thought she was really good. Unfortunately, she's injured. But Tay Conti, I think there should be more with Tay Conti. Tay Conti's ready to go. She's ready to be pushed. Serena Deeb, she's injured, unfortunately. Thunder Rosa, thank goodness she's still around. But I'm afraid once NWA gets back up and running, they're taking her back. So that means you have one absolutely excellent wrestler that's going to be pulled off, I'm assuming, off AEW. And Red Velvet's been doing okay, but I'm still thinking she's still pretty green, which is fine. But there's a couple girls that they introduced on Dark. There was a Lindsay Snow, and she just looks tough. All tattoos up, like dreadlock hair, like crazy makeup. She looked pretty rough and tough and like good. And then there was another girl, they called her Genocide, and then they changed her name, but she looks like some kind of 80s robot style. She came out with like these like football type pads, and she's like probably 6'2" or 3. She's about as big as Jade Cargill, but with like a more of a fold out thick frame. And she was awesome. She had like these cool like 80s glasses that were like all like kind of made her look like some kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy look with like this silver paint makeup. She kind of looked like Max Headroom from the 80s, like Max Headroom. But she's been gone. I don't know like what the deal is. I know both of those are independent girls. There's a girl named Viperous who was pretty good. So I don't know. I'm not very, I mean, I know you can't push everybody all the time, but I don't know. I sure hope so. I agree. I think Thunder Rosa is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm not a big Nyla Rose fan. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, on a live stream, but I'm not let's just say, for lack of better words, I'm not the biggest Nyla Rose fan out there. So, I think Diamante and Ivelisse, they're good. I think you should see them more. I think the girls should have a tag team division, or I think you should see more girls tag team. And you don't see that hardly ever, a girl tag team. But it's like Diamante and Ivelisse never do solos hardly ever. They almost always do tag teams. So when they do have a tag team, they put two girls together against them. That doesn't usually, they don't have any work or they don't have any real track record. So it's usually and it's usually a squash match. On top of that, they have enough women both on Dark and I'm sure on Elevation. They're going to start next Monday, and then on Dynamite, that they have enough women to have a handful of these women go into tag team, even if they only have like 6 or 7 girls or 6 or 7 women's tag team tag teams. That's still better than having basically Diamante and Ivelisse, and that's it. they had a little bit going on with Brandy and Allie, which I thought was good. It was an interesting, story they were telling with that. But then, whatever reason that stopped. I mean, Allie's been like sucked. Like she first came over, she was like again the valet for the Butcher and the Blade, and then they had her disappear and kind of go off to do solo stuff, and then she joined with Brandy, and then she was part of the Nightmare Family, kind of. And she had some subplot with QT, and then all of a sudden she's back with Butcher and the Blade, and then now she just runs around cackling. So I feel like they really misused her. I mean, looking forward to Yuki Ito, I think that's her name, uh, going around flipping everybody off because she's playing a pretty hilarious heel. So I like her. Hopefully they keep her around. But yeah, overall, man, I kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit with the women's division. But I mean, I really do like AEW. I feel like they got really crapped on with that ending, with it being like a wet fart, which sucked. I think if and I know that hindsight's 2020. Eddie Kingston was told what to do and he went out and did it. Hey, what up, Schmidt? But I mean, I feel like Eddie Kingston. I mean, that somebody should have like somehow he should have just been more self-aware to be like, the ring didn't explode, there wasn't fire all over the place. Maybe I should just check on him now and kind of see how he's doing instead of just laying there act like he's been killed. That was the worst. That was the worst part of it because and then he like sold it the whole time. Like he never stopped selling it. Like you even had Moxley, who supposedly was the one who almost died, like checking on Kingston and propping him up, and they had like medical attention for Kingston. Like he completely like method acted that all the way through. So that was kind of like unfortunately the real glaring mishap was that the pyro didn't go off. All right, kind of like you're just, what do you call that? Like you have to make an audible, call an audible, and Kingston should have just been like, there's no way I could sell this. Let me check on him now. And after I laid on him to protect him, and then go, oh, what's going on here? Like this is garbage. Like nothing happened. Like do what they kind of did afterwards. Like Omega sucks as a pyrotechnician or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's hindsight's 2020, and it is what it is. Kingston had a job to do, and he did it 100% completely to the letter. I mean, he did not break character. He laid there until he got somebody to help him off of him. So he was definitely committed. So, but I was watching Dark, but I took a break from it because I guess I was having like a crazy day. I don't want to probably get into it publicly because it's like some personal stuff. And I think it's been resolved, but this has been one of those crazy days, and then so it is what it is. I just want to hop off for a little bit and just kind of like talk about something else, get my mind off of everything. But I was just sitting in my house, kind of stewing over the entire day, and just wanted to like have my mind take me away, like Calgon, take me away. So that's what I'm doing here. Did anybody else watch the wrestling match over the weekend on Sunday? Anybody watch the AEW Revolution? I believe that's what they called it. But the Sting match was awesome. I know, Jeremy, I think you said it was awesome. I think you watched it. That definitely was a highlight for me. I like the Battle Royal. I don't think they can call it Battle Royal. I think they call it Tag Team Royale or something. Royale with cheese. What do they call Big Mac? Well, Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac. So they had that was cool. I like that. There was a lot of cool teams in there. Some teams you didn't really know much about, especially if you didn't watch Dark. I obviously watched Dark. I like Dark a lot. I'm looking forward to Elevation start next week. But I thought it was really good. I was surprised. That not Penta, but Ray and Pac winning. I didn't think they were going to win, so that was cool for the Death Triangle. And then I was surprised that Scorpio Sky won. He's about ready to turn heel, it looks like, so that was interesting. They had a couple surprises in there, which I thought was cool. I liked at the end. I like the Hangman Page, the Hangman and Hardy match. I thought was good. I like that one a lot. I mean, both those guys are excellent. Just like technicians in their ring, they were fantastic. So I mean, they really can't have a bad match. And they were doing like some crazy stuff. Like I think Hangman Adam Page was jumping off the rails, like in the front row, and like standing out there, like jumping off and like doing like somersaults or whatever on the Hardy, which I thought was cool. And then the Shida Mizunami match at the end when Nyla Rose came out and Britt Baker seemingly like they've teamed up and started whooping up on Shida and then started whooping up on Mizunami, and then Maki Ito came out and kept fighting them too. So she's obviously a heel, or at least it looks like it. And then of course Thunder Rosa runs out there and like starts whipping everybody up too, and they get scared. But if you don't watch BTE, Being the Elite, which is the Young Bucks YouTube channel, Maki Ito, I think, is getting ready to join, at least in the show. I don't know if they're going to do that in wrestling. She's getting ready to join, it looks like, the Dark Order. She has like a quick 5-second segment where she walks into their like little room where they always like hang out in. And they're always doing all their like scheming and planning and goofing or whatever. And because Anna Jay's gone because she's been hurt, they were talking about how no girl can take Anna Jay's place. And Anna Jay's like, you're irreplaceable. And then they kept doing like, John Silver keeps doing his own, Anna, where are you, Anna? And she's obviously gone. And all of a sudden, Maki Ito walks in fully in her like, garb and walks in and gives everybody the finger because that's her thing. And she's like, what's up, mother effers? With her like thick Japanese accent. And they're like, going off. So I think like there's probably some connection with Maki Ito in the inner circle, which would be great. They need another girl in there because Anna Jay's might be out for a year. They said 6 months to a year, so that's pretty serious. And Tay Conti, that whole story kind of has been on the back burner with her joining the Dark Order or not. And now that Anna Jay's not there, that doesn't make sense. I don't think because she wouldn't join with Anna Jay, but then all of a sudden she'd join without Anna Jay. So Maki Ito being joined would be actually pretty hilarious. Scorpio is a star. I like Scorpio Sky. The thing is I think he's a great wrestler. I'm just not impressed by Scorpio Sky. Like, I don't care one way or the other. He wins or he loses. I'm just kind of like, meh. And I hate that because with wrestlers, you really should like them or you should hate them. And if you hate him, it's good heat, right? You should be like, oh man, I can't believe they won, or he's such a scumbag, or whatever. Or you're like, he's the baby face, and you're like, man, he can do no wrong. He's the best thing ever. And then when you have a wrestler, you're just kind of like, I'll take him or leave him. I think that's the worst thing as a wrestler, that you have people who just kind of take you or leave you. Hey, what up, BF Golf? Oh, really? Matt and Jeff Hardy's your cousins? That's awesome. Make sure well, if that's the case, I need a couple autographs by him. If you can make that happen for me, I'd appreciate it. I feel like Jeff is so underused with WWE. I wish he would come over to AEW. The charismatic enigma. But yeah. So, anyways, I wasn't planning on talking about wrestling, quite frankly, which is hilarious because that's the only thing I really pay attention to right now. I don't pay any attention to sports right now. Not much. I honestly couldn't tell you a single thing that happened with baseball over the last week. So there's that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the world of sports. Kind of hopeless, I guess you could say there when it comes to that kind of thing. What up, Mike? Why? Okay. Well, man, BF, I was getting all excited. You got me all worked up, buddy. So anyway, yeah. So what do you all have any conversations we can have? Any topics, any thoughts, any insights, any Anything we want to discuss today? I have a few minutes that I can, string together a couple thoughts I can share with some people. That'd be awesome, dude. I'm not kidding, dude. I'm being serious. Like if you can get me Jeff and Matt Hardy's autograph on the same 8x10 or separate, that'd be amazing. I know they live in North Carolina. I mean, the Hardy compound, they talk about it all the time, especially Matt, because that's who I watch mostly. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with you a little bit on that, Jeremy, for sure. I don't disagree with you. So, I like Kofi Kingston, so that's true. Becky Lynch, I think that's who you're referencing. I agree. I don't watch WWE a whole lot, so but I mean I do know who those wrestlers are, and I do know that back in the day, Kofi Kingston had his fake Jamaican accent there for a while. I think he's actually Nigerian or something like ethnicity wise. But then he finally stopped dropping all that and just started being like Kofi Kingston, which is awesome. He did great. I do like him. I actually got his autograph in the mail just a couple weeks ago on a card, like a in a card that was inserted into the packs. Kansas City Royals, don't know anything about them, dude. I'm drinking Mike Japanese whiskey. It's called Suntory Toki. So they live in Cameron. Oh, okay. I knew they lived in North Carolina. Just don't know what city they lived in. I'm assuming they lived close together, but I'm drinking Japanese whiskey called Toki, Toki. So I love Elijah Craig. I don't know if I love him $200 worth, even though it's an 18-year-old bottle. And I can see. I mean, I bought the regular bottle I bought was like close to 30. So I guess kind of. Oh, Royal Family Saga. I thought you meant Royals, like the Kansas City Royals. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, I like Japanese whiskey. This one here, this one, there's a couple different kinds. I got the lower end one, like that was like $35 instead of the $50 bottle. And I'm like, it's okay, it's fine, but it's not great, it doesn't mean like it's wet. It does the job, but I'm just like, man, yeah, that whole Royals thing, the royal family. I don't know, dude. I mean, I think the world we live in right now, honestly, everybody looks to be offended. And I don't know. Obviously, none of us were there. There could have. It sounds like there were some pretty harsh accusations thrown towards them, which is completely uncalled for. Do I think that the public needs to know about your personal, grievances? Because all that does is to purposely embarrass and to exact some sort of revenge on either an entity or a group of people or whatever. I mean, it's like if you're that offended or upset, that should have been handled in house. I mean, they should have pretend you don't push it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. You definitely should stand up for yourself and your family. But do well, you need you have millionaire royal sitting down with a billionaire celebrity talking about how they're talking about how they're marginalized. It just to normal people that just shows you how out of touch rich, celebrated, royal and or celebrity type people, are not in touch with reality. I mean, honestly, like I've had similar situations with my personal friends or family in my life over the years. And I can tell you, I didn't get on YouTube and then start telling everybody about it. And I'm a nobody, let alone if I'm a supposed like a royal family. I'm not gonna get on there and have Oprah get up there and badmouth everybody that I know who's like taking me into my family in. And even though there might be supposedly a few individuals that's not in the main royal family who said some inappropriate things, and it sounded like a lot of it was like not even the family itself. It was news people, like the reporters were terrible. Okay, so how's that had anything to do overall with the experience with the royal family? I don't know. But quite frankly, I've never cared about anything to do involving the royal family. Yeah, exactly, Mike. That's funny. I didn't even see your comment until just now. But I was thinking the same thing. Like, I don't even care. Like, at the end of the day, it's like America has enough problems of her own. We don't need to worry about the royals' problems. They can take care of themselves. Right? Yeah. So I got 7 million problems, but this ain't one. So yeah, it is what it is. It's just hard to take anybody seriously complaining how tough they have it and how miserable they are and how miserable being a millionaire royal is and complaining about it publicly to a bunch of other people who are scraping by trying to get by. I'm like, like, do we really need to know your personal issues? Like, just take care of that stuff in house. But what do I know? What do I know? Whatever. Mike, why you got that? USA, USA. So every time you think about that, I should just play the Hulk Hogan song, right? You know, we are real Americans, fight for the rights of every man. Like it's like starts out kind of slow and methodical, then all of a sudden you're like, doo, doo, doo. Yeah, then you get all pumped. That's how it should be. And then you can have Jim Duggan in the background going, ho! So that, sir, is a guarantee, brother. We can do it, Mike. If we end up doing the national, I'm not for sure. I'm not really sold on the national right now. We'll see. I don't know if you're going to do the national. I'm kind of up in the air about the national, quite frankly. I've already talked to Bob because Bob and I were kind of talking about trying to do something together, but I don't. Bob's situations, of course, changed dramatically with the baby coming. In my situation, I'm kind of like with the situation with some of his money. Like I think most people know. Like I had a $1,400 water heater explosion that I had to pay for. So that takes a big chunk of money. I'm having to pay that off between now and try to before the end of the year. So I don't want to have to pay the interest. So I didn't have that money. I mean, I have money like that. I just hate using it to pay off something like that. So I did like a 1 year loan or whatever it's called, 1 year credit card thing. And I don't want to be paying on it for like forever and have interest. So I'm trying to be proactive and pay it off ASAP. So I have that going on. And then I don't know. I mean, I'm going on a vacation with Luca this coming week with his mom. We're going on a mini vacation for about 5 days. So that'll be exciting. We're looking forward to doing that. So I'm going to be spending some money on doing that, of course. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying it now. I mean, Chicago's like 3 hours from my house. So if I really want to just pull the trigger, hey, see you later, Jeremy. Take care, man. I appreciate you hopping in, man. Thanks a lot, brother. I might just make decision the day of. I know I've been talking to Jeremy. I'm sorry. I've been talking to Sean Sealing second. And we talked about going, but I think he's just doing his thing. I told him to do his thing, and then I'll catch up with him later if I can make it happen. Let's see. I'm offended by this take on the wonderfully well grown. I'm sorry, dude. Yes, you should be, BF. The Rocky 3, man, for sure. Right. Yeah, we can ask. Yeah. So I agree with you. Just to answer your first one about the national, just to kind of finish that thought, and then with the prices the way they are, and with how many people I'm assuming are going to be there, and then if they're going to make there be restrictions and how many people can be in the convention itself or any of the gathering areas and all that stuff, it's like, do I really want to deal with that nightmare? I know Chicago is like the most liberal city in the Midwest, so I don't know how much they will hold on to the idea of restricting people's freedoms for as long as they can. I mean, they're telling you can like now, if you've been vaccinated, you can like now don't have a mask around your family or friends who haven't because you're vaccinated. You can have them around like apparently like people who haven't. But then if you go out in public with like, you go to a restaurant, you need to still wear a mask. It's just like it's all about trying to just control people. It's just like at this point, it's getting ridiculous. You know, you're completely vaccinated, you're completely safe. You can't get sick, you can't get other people sick with your family and the people you come in close contact with in a closed-in area. But if you go out in public to a restaurant or you go to a Kroger, you got to mask up still and do your social distancing. It's like, they're talking out both sides of their mouths. It makes no sense. Well, the whole thing never made sense. So definitely this doesn't make sense. But with all that being said, it's like how much of this stuff, nonsense, is going to continue to trickle through the summer. And it's like, do I really want to go and be inconvenienced at the national? No, I don't. I definitely don't want to be paying a lot of money and then be told I got to sit out and wait my turn, or I have like a number that they call my number, I can go in or whatever. And it may be a non-issue. Maybe at that point everything's back to normal and we're fine, great. But it's gonna be jam packed with people because we can only imagine how. I mean, if my little car show in Indianapolis was like wall to wall people, I can only imagine what the national will look like in 4 months or whatever. What is the March, April, May, June, July? Yeah, 4 months. So yeah, we'll see. You're only going to go selling. That's true. Oh, and what I was going to tell you, Mike, where I'm going to go, we're going to go to Atlanta. We're going to Atlanta for about a week. So Luca's going to bring a friend. Me and his mom, we're going. We're going to go down there. So that's where we're going for a week. We already got the hotel. We already got the rental car. It's all been taken care of. So we're pretty pumped about the trip. We're gonna do Hey, what up, Steve? So we got an idea of like about 3 or 4 things we want to do for sure. The weather's supposed to be pretty good, like one day, like really nice. The other couple days might be possible rain. So, we gotta find some indoor stuff and we gotta find some outdoor stuff. No, Andy and Alex both live in Savannah, which I heard was like 3 hours away. Now, if they want to come up and see us, that's fine. But I'm not driving 8 hours and then drive another 3 hours because the only thing is I'm the only one who wants to go. My family has no interest in probably hanging out with Andy or Alex. No offense to those guys. I mean, I love them. They're my buds. But my ex-wife definitely has no interest. And Luca just wants to hang out with his buddy. And going to hang out with my nerdy baseball card buddies, I doubt would be on their agenda. So I know one thing we're definitely looking forward to doing is trying, as long as we can do it and it's not like terrible weather or whatever, like pouring down rain. We want to go to like a handful of Stranger Things locations because they filmed the entire show in and around Atlanta. So we already staked out like 3 or 4 things we want to go do and like video or like get pictures and hang out over at those locations because Luke is a huge Stranger Things fan. So and they're still filming from what I understand there. So you never know. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll run into one of the actors or actresses from the show. So, but we're gonna go try to check out some of those locations. I know Luke is super pumped about that because it's probably gonna be the only time we're ever gonna go that neck of the woods. And a lot of those locations are just a few minutes outside of Atlanta. So we'll see. So we're doing that, and then like I said, like, a lot of touristy things like zoos, and they have like the biggest aquarium in Atlanta, like in the northern hemisphere or something. So Luke is pumped about that. The zoo, of course, we're all big fans of the zoo, and then Olympic Centennial Park. I think we're gonna do that. Hopefully we're not gonna repeat of what happened in 1992 with Richard Jewell and all that stuff. I think we want to try to do that. There's a couple like historical things we want to do. I think we want to try to go to the Martin Luther King Jr. Museum, I believe, and a couple like battle sites, I believe, for the Civil War in that area. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, we want to have more than enough things to do, so that way, if depending on how we feel, what the weather looks like, what's going on, if what you can or can't do, because some things might be canceled or still held off because of the whole COVID stuff. So I'm not for sure. Like I called down to their tourism board, and they made it sound like there's a handful of things that are still closed that you can't go do because of COVID. So we'll just see. I want to go to the park. I want to go down to whatever. I know it's not called Fulton County Stadium or Turner Field anymore. SunTrust or Truist Field. I think that's what it's called now. They have tours, so I think we want to try to do that. But if they're like restricting where you can or can't go, they still want to make you pay the full price. Then no. But if everything's open, you can do it all for one money. Then that's fine. I want to do that. So we'll see. Hey, what up, Brock boys? What up, Buttercup? But yeah, like I said, as far as the national is, it's like, man, I think for me, I'm just gonna make the decision that the week of, quite frankly. And if I know for sure I had a place to crash, because all I really care about is having a place to like sleep. So if I have a place to sleep, that's all I care about. Hey, what up, dude? What up, John Mangini? John Mangini. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, they have anything involving the runs of the Underground Railroad, that'd be awesome. Luca, my son loves history. I mean, loves history. Then we're gonna do definitely historical things if we can go if they're open and we're available to do it. We're gonna definitely do it. So we'll see. Oh, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. I actually picked up another dual autograph card that I got for with shipping, like $15. So it's two. They're not Hall of Famers, but there's two Dodgers legends on a card, both autographed, authenticated Beckett, I believe Beckett from a couple years ago. So the card looks great. The autographs look awesome. Got the card plus shipping for 15. I think they got the card for like $11. The shipping was like $4, so it was like $15 total. It was awesome. I'm super pumped. The Atlanta Underground. I don't know. Sounds like Fight Club. The first thing about the Atlanta Underground is there is no Atlanta Underground. The second thing about the Atlanta Underground is there is no Atlanta Underground. Like, what's the first thing? What's the first rule of Fight Club? There's no Fight Club. So, yeah, man, I'll check it out, dude. So it's called Atlanta Underground. I'll give it a lookie. Yeah, man. I mean, I've been big on autographs, picking up autographs right now because again, autograph cards of like Hall of Famers and like vintage stars, semi stars, superstars from back in the day, all stars. Shockingly, are not that crazy expensive. I put a hold on my buy-in last week or so when I knew I was leaving out of town. I didn't want a bunch of stuff being sent to my house and or the post office holding everything. And I have like 100 items, so I put everything on hold. I will put it on, I guess I should say, by next week because I'll still be here some next week. We're gonna leave and come back in about 4 or 5 days. So I'm gonna still be around, but I just don't want my mailbox to be dripping, cards and memorabilia out my mailbox. If there's anything to do with Portland, I'm definitely not doing it. I wouldn't make it out of there probably alive because I'm so opinionated and strong-willed. I'm sure I would get taken out by somebody. Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, Phil Rizzuto, 55 Bowman, autographed, all day long, dude. All day long. I mean, you honestly cannot go wrong with these autographs. So, like I said, when I get back from the vacation, I'll probably get back. I'll probably crack open the old eBay, or even when I'm on vacation towards the end, I'll pick up a couple things and have it shipped over. Oh, that's cool, BF. So yeah, I love stuff like that. Restaurants and shops. I mean, I'm big about doing the local stuff. I try to stay away from a lot of the touristy things, even though when you go to some place with a family, you're gonna do the touristy stuff, which is totally fine. But I like to do a couple of those things because why else go? But then I also like to do like the neighborhoods. Like I think my ex-wife said there's a Chinatown in Atlanta or like a China like I don't even know, maybe not Chinatown, but like a China like area or like village type thing over there. So I definitely we want to do that as a family because we're big into like supporting any kind of ethnic um, areas of like neighborhoods like Chinatown, Little Italy, Little Tokyo, Greek Town, that stuff like Koreatown. Like they have a lot of stuff in Chicago. We hit that place up a lot. So I didn't even know Atlanta had those kind of things, quite frankly. So I like to try to do those things. There's a bunch of restaurants that, of course, are local. I want to try to do like a lot of local Atlanta places. Of course, like soul food. I would like to try to do some barbecue, try to do some southern cooking. So I want to definitely try some of that stuff that you're not going to get in Indiana. So definitely want to try to hit up those places as well. So yeah, I mean, definitely going to be busy. Great, Crazy Underground Fight Club. I'm more like Meatloaf and Fight Club. Bob. I'm not gonna say his nickname because there might be kids watching, and also I'm a classy gent. But yeah, well, I just know that there's parts of Atlanta, Georgia that I'm not going to. I don't care how supposedly friendly it may be. That's for sure. So I'm trying to stay away from any of those. I think they said anything like south of 20, if I understood correctly. South of 20, you want to stay away from a lot of those neighborhoods. Maybe south of 75, I'm not for sure. I didn't do some more research, but yeah, I mean, I'm doing some. So I mean, I definitely don't want to get caught in the wrong part of town because I like going to the south side of Chicago. I got lost there twice actually in my life. One time with my mom and my aunt back in the day, and I remember still like how uneasy a feeling it was. And then once about maybe 14 years ago, before Luca was born, I went with my ex-wife and her mom, Japanese, of course, from Japan, and she was like, "Jason, where'd you take me? Like, are we?" Like she was like seriously like we were, and I understand it was like it was pretty scary, it was kind of sketchy, and she was like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "Man, I got lost. I'm sorry. I took a wrong turn." So we try to get the hell out of Dodge. So I heard a lot of Atlanta rap songs. Yeah. So needless to say, be a little bit mindful of my surroundings, and it should be fine. So we will see. We will see. If we're not going looking for any trouble, that's for sure. So anyways, guys. So what else? What else is going on aside from the royal family and the national, which we kind of discussed those very hard hitting and pressing issues? We have any other topics? Any other topics or suggestions that we can kind of talk about or hit up on today? Yeah. So of course, stay on the rough neighborhoods. Of course. Hey, what up, George? Yeah, Forest Park, baby. That's right. Yeah, I drink it neat, dude. Every once in a while, I'll put a um uh ice like what do they call it? What do they call it? Like a highball, like an ice ball in there. Like my ex-wife found this cool way to get like water in this like little mold and make the ice balls. Balls. I like saying that word. And then put that in the drink. And so I'll sometimes drink it on the rocks, but I generally speaking, I enjoy it drinking it neat. But after a hard day working, sometimes having ice balls in your drink is good. No, I have not seen it with my own eyeballs, any HGA slabs. I've seen them online. I think they're in different colors, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I feel like that kind of thing is kind of like kind of a gimmick. I don't know if it costs more money, maybe not, to have them. When you get graded cars that you come back in blue or red or green or black or yellow or orange or whatever. I'm like, man, I don't really care. It might be cool. I might feel different after I see it. But at the end of the day, right now, I don't. I, you know, it's I don't know if it's the popular opinion or not. If you care about ever reselling your cards, then you have to go with PSA at this time. If you don't really care about reselling your cards, you just want the way that you just like the way they look. I think SGC is the way to go because I love the way the SGC slabs look with the black borders and all that. I think they look fabu, fabu. So that's what I like for my own personal collection. But if I'm trying to flip something, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the PSA. I don't care what people say. That PSA is here to stay. Oh, I'm a poet. I didn't know it. So Elton John approves my whiskey. Thanks, Elton. Crocodile Rock, baby. Yeah, you know a little bit about that, Mike. I think you're the one who hooked a brother up. Yeah, and I'm sure they do look kind of cool. So yeah, I'm still confused about the whole grade with the computer thing. It's above my pay grade. But if it works, I honestly think having having a non-human, an android, a computer, a artificial intelligence do the grading is probably the better approach. But what do I know? No, I'm not a set collector. I used to be when I was a kid. I think a lot of us probably were set collectors back in the day because it was fun, you know, putting together a set and putting in a binder and all that stuff. But nowadays, like at my mom and dad's house, I have hundreds of binders, hundreds. And I still have binders. I just don't. I mean, but a lot of the binders were sets back then. And I think my dad and I put together every set from 1978 because that's the year I was born to like 90, probably two or three. We did sets together, collected. Once I got into my high school, like I stopped, you know, collecting ball cards, and it became like a thing of the past. But now, you know, I don't do the set collecting, but now I'm back to collecting cards to a certain degree. But we'll see. I'm kind of just like I said, I'm just kind of over the whole thing. I'll probably just keep doing what I'm doing, buy my dollar cards here and there, picking up a couple autos once in a while, not getting bogged down too much with any of the other stuff. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I couldn't even speak to it, Mike. Like how that all works and if it's the pros and cons of it. I think if you take the human element out of it, I think it makes it more uniform, which is what I care about. Is the card's graded for what the card is in the story? Because when I how I look at a card and how you look at a card, if we're both grading, we're gonna look at them totally two different ways. Like I will give a card a 9, you give it a 10, or vice versa. There's just too much human aspect to the grading. I think if you can have a card be graded by a computer, that makes the most sense. They grade with an intergalactic antimatter gradatron. That sounds awesome. It also sounds like a plot device in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But I'm down for that. I'm down for that type of you know AI or whatever. So yeah, for sure, for sure. So we will see about their anti intergalactic antimatter gradatron. We'll see how that shakes out over the next few months and I guess year or so. I know most people just don't like the idea of another other than PSA grading your card. I just think people get like no matter how much people say verbally, they don't mind change when the actual change takes place. A lot of people don't like change, and it's really hard to change, even if it's a good change. So, like I said, PSA, even though they've been doing ridiculous stuff a lot in the last couple of months, and especially recently, I think it's gonna be hard for people to like jump ship because they just like normal. They like what they like. They like what they know. They don't like changing things. They like the uniform feel of like I already know how this is gonna play out. I might be inconvenienced, but I'm just gonna keep going, opposed to changing it up. So, oh yeah, I mean, I sent a few out. I think in the end of December, and some more in January, and I think they haven't even like touched the first couple stages. Yeah, I've got 44 cards out to PSA from October. Yeah, exactly. Just go collect some cheap player runs and guys your favorite teams. Yep. Can you pick up a lot of flash base cheap? Yep. Yeah, I've been totally like what George said is true. Just collect as cheap as you can. But also collect the stuff that you like, your favorite team or your favorite player. You still can find cards. I mean, like I'm finding stuff all the time that I like. I mean, like I just picked up. I got this in the mail today. I think I'm still picking up Hulk Hogan cards. Like here's a Hulk Hogan on an O-Pee-Chee from 1985 doing a piggyback. Oh, piggyback. I don't even know who's on the back of there. I don't know who that is on the back. But like you still can find cards of wrestlers or in my case or of players. Like I found one here of Ichiro. I'm gonna do one. I found this like for like $1 or something. This other insert card from a Diamond Collection from 2011 I didn't have. I mean, there's still cards that can be found. You just gotta be on the lookout. You gotta do the work. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Demolition Man. Yeah, let's look. I got a cool demolition uh item. I can't really even say card because it's not a card. I haven't done the video yet, but here we go. This is actually a Tag Team of the Year sticker from the I guess dairy company Borden. But this is Axe and Smash right here, baby. Or Smash and Axe of Demolition. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. Still in the cellophane from the sticker back in the day. Like you still can see right here. You can like open it up right there, right there. But there you have Axe and Smash, dude. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing off a bunch of my wrestling cards here soon enough. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Henry? And that's exactly correct, dude. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Repo Man, yeah, Repo Man. Yep, Axe and Smash, Road Warriors, yep. And that's the thing. I mean, that's what I've been doing, Henry. You're exactly right. I just go hang on eBay. I put in like place like what do you call it? I know like Dave always says it like placeholder bids or something like Blue Jacket 66 on his big time auctions, like some of the auction houses. But just to make sure you don't forget the card or the item you're looking at. So I put a bunch of placeholder bids of like $1 in or 50 cents or $2, and I just sit back and then I don't think about it until it gets closer to the day that the auction goes through, and then I'll see if I'm still winning the bid or I'm been outbid, and then I make the decision and I'm going to pull the trigger, not the BTE trigger, but pull the trigger and add a few more bucks to try to get it, or do I just let it go? But that way I don't lose track of stuff because you only can watch I think 400 items on eBay, which is better than it used to be, which is like 200 or less. So they doubled it, which is cool. But if you're watching a lot of stuff and you're not buying it, it can disappear. I feel like the whole like you've been outbid thing or you're winning is on my phone a lot more like it's like pew 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 pew. You've been outbid or you are winning. Do you want to place another bid? So it kind of helps you understand to keep looking. Like if it's just watch list and it says this is on your watch list, and then like it could be 12 hours away or 24 hours away. It's not necessarily going to come up at that moment. So, anyways, but guys, I think I'm gonna hop off. I want to finish watching AEW Dark. Go watch it right now, guys. If you like wrestling, go watch AEW Dark. They just released a new episode. It's a bunch of great wrestling is going to be on there. So go check it out, and then come back and let me know what you think. So until next time.